Well, hi folks, here's a bit of a strange video for you. It's just a little tip on how you can virtually guarantee the germination of your parsnip seeds, because if you know that parsnips are really long season crops, so basically you need to get them in early, and it takes like 6 months for them to grow into a decent size, so you need to get them in early. But because the ground and the weather's so cold at the moment, they have a tendency not to germinate in the soil and rot. So this is one thing I do when I'm growing my show parsnips, but you can also do it to guarantee the germination of your normal eating parsnips, and it's called pre-chitting. As with your potatoes, you chit those, which is just another word for sprouting. So you're just pre-sprouting your parsnip seeds before you actually plant them. And another thing about parsnip seeds is they're one of the worst storers of seeds, so they don't stay fresh for more than a year. So basically old packets of seed, if you've got any parsnip seed that's 1-2 years old, then they probably won't germinate because they go off really quickly for some reason. It's one of the worst seeds for that. And apart from that, they're not the best germinator anyway. You'd be lucky if you get 50% germination rate with fresh parsnip seeds. So this way it just sort of maximises your chance of getting the things to grow, especially if you plant them early. So basically what you do is you get a container. I've got an old Chinese takeaway box, so you can use a sandwich box, Tupperware box, and in the bottom I've put some kitchen roll, about 2 sheets of it, and I've wet it so it's not soaking, it just about holds as much water as it can. It's like that, so it's wet but not saturated. And then simply what you do is you get your parsnip seeds like so. These have been coated with something like so, and you just sprinkle them on the surface of the wet tissue like so. And then what we're going to do with these is I'm going to leave them somewhere warm, like just in a room, or you can actually put them in the airing cupboard somewhere even as warm as that. And then in about 7 to 10 days, what should happen is, out of one end of the seed, I'll just get a little seed, right at the end there'll be a tiny little shoot, maybe about 1 or 2 millimetres, a little tiny white shoot which is a taproot emerging, which means that your seed's obviously viable and it will grow. So I'll put a little picture on now if I can find one, just to show you what that looks like. So like I say, after about 7 to 10 days you should start getting these little white shoots on the end of the parsnip seeds, and then what you can do is you can just plant all the ones that have sprouted individually into your row as you would do. It's going to take about a week, because it'll take a week for the whole thing to, for all the ones that are going to germinate. But then you know that because they are actually viable seed and they have germinated, then they will grow on. So rather than taking a potluck of just sowing a load of seeds in and just hoping that they are viable and that they will sprout, which they probably won't at this time of year, especially up north where it's really cold and it's still frosty at night. So basically, like I say, that's it. And then what we'll do, after I put these on, I will cover it with another sheet of wet tissue paper like so. So they're covered, and then every few days, after about a week, don't bother looking for a week because they won't do it in a week. Just keep lifting your tissue up, having a quick little check for your sprouts, and any ones that have sprouted, carefully take them off and plant them. It's a bit of a faff, I know it is a faff, but it does guarantee that any of those that have sprouted that you plant out will grow, rather than just, like I say, taking potluck. So anyway, that's just a bit of a weird tip for you. It's what I use when I'm growing my show parsnips, just so I can guarantee germination. And guarantee germination when it's cold at this time of year by pre-chitting them, sprouting them inside in the warmth, and then planting them outside. It doesn't matter how cold it is then. So that's it folks, just another little tip for you. Like I say, a bit of a faff, but you can try it or not, it's up to you. See you later.